Oh, missed the last hit, Wink. I'm gonna
CS
give you.
lol.
Yo, listen. I have a really, really good piece of advice here.
When was that last hit?
What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Dota Alchemy. Thank you again for tuning in. I'm happy to unveil a little piece of content that we've been wanting to put out for quite some time, and thanks to your amazing support on Patreon, we have been able to hire an editor part-time to help us pull some of the best clips, the best pieces of advice, and of course the best memes from our replay review sessions that we do every single Thursday. So we hope you enjoy this piece of content. Let us know in the comment section below, and of course be sure to tune in every single Thursday, including this next one, for replay review. Why do you have a stick? And also, if you're a tree protector, just take the fight at the one that's in the trees. Only fight there. That's where you belong, is in the trees. There have been so many times where I will actually almost kill a carry because they want this rune so badly. They will sit in this route taking right clicks from 100 damage tree protector just to try and get the rune. And they enter the lane with like 2 tangos left. So, don't go for the one in the river. Go for the one where you belong. Also, don't buy a fucking stick.
So you guys are getting owned because it's a tri-lane and you don't know what to do against a tri-lane.
Yeah.
So what your job is on Treant Protector, because okay, can you click back and see if he's with the Pango? Because I'm about to shit on the Pango, so I want to see if he's friends with this guy.
No.
All right, your Pango's a complete fucking moron. So he has no idea what to do against a tri-lane. But you, being medieval and being a smart person, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go through the trees behind the tower, and you're gonna grab the second creep wave, and you're just gonna mess with it. You're gonna run the second creep wave and try to kite it as much as you can until the third creep wave gets there. And then you just leave and go into the trees. And then 2 creep waves go into your tower, and your Pango gets free farm. And the entire time, the enemy supports are chasing you around like idiots, and your Pango's free farming. Like, that is what you have to do in this situation. And having a stick really makes that hard because you have no regen to work with. But basically, when you see a tri-lane, you don't just sit in the lane and play normally. You say, okay, we need to get to this to a point where we have to make where the enemy team has to not be playing this as a tri-lane because they're going to lose. And the way that you do that is you grab the second wave and you kite it and you take the second wave to in front of your tower. You can't do that in this situation because they have blind silencer. They're going to kill you. So you just mess with the creep wave behind the tower.
Yep.
And you're doing it now, but just go through the trees and do this.
Also, I don't think you need to do this right now because the creep
wave's
right in front of the tower. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is like the right idea, but at the wrong time, which happens frequently.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if there are any wards available, but because this is the tri-lane, this is like the high pressure area of the map. It's definitely really important for you to get a ward down here to work with.
Yeah.
If you can see where these moron supports are, then it's pretty good.
He had a ward and he put it here, which you definitely want it like down in this area somewhere, or like over here, or like even in the lane potentially. Like, this is a great spot because you can catch people that are walking across here. You can see into the tower area. You can see into the trees, kind of. So definitely put it in a more like active area that allows you to dodge ganks and like pick your spots.
So what you do is you skewer him, and then you walk over here.
Oh, and you RP him into tower. Yeah.
Yes. So the way you do it, and I would say go into a practice lobby and try this. If you do a turn command while you are RPing, you RP people like right to where your horn is on Magnus. So if you're facing in a direction, they're going to go like towards that direction. So if you do a turn command as you're RPing, you'll actually RP somebody and move them quite a long distance in the way that you're facing. So you could have RP'd him into tower. And that's how people set up for skewers after their RP, is they like...
Yeah, because the whole running around the person to skewer is just so inefficient when you can just turn it. So here's what we were talking about. RP. There's a little bit of a cast time, as you've noticed, right? You can cancel it like this because there's a cast time. So during that cast time, instead of canceling it, what you're going to do is you're going to turn and hit RP, and then it sets you up to skewer them into tower immediately afterwards like that. So you have to hit the turn command first, and then you RP. And then you will turn them as you RP. So turn and RP, which sets up the skewer, and then that's how you kill the SF in that moment. But basically, I mean, I guess if you're playing against a bunch of counters, you just
have to be extremely selective about when you fight them, which is almost never. Just really, really focus on getting your farm up. Like, that's kind of the only way to play against a bunch of counters like this.
Yeah, just get huge. Get huge.
Get huge, get tons of stats, you know, opt for stats over damage in all cases, I think.
Get so many items that it doesn't matter that they counter you, basically.
Yeah. And then, if possible, just don't take 5-on-5s. Just force them to split as they try and deal with you split pushing, and then TP to your team and take a fight against 4 or 3 or something like that.
You also want to be the hero that's like showing up last to fight. If the axe is already like showing himself and the ember's coiled and things like that, then it's way easier for you to take fights.
Yeah, just play like the edge of the fight and lance people and send your illusions to burn their mana until you see an opening, and then you can go in. But just kind of play like you're a ranged hero or like a support at the beginnings of the fight if you're there. You don't have to be the one running in just because you're a PL. Like, let's use our brains a little bit and think about how we need to approach the fight.
Hella trading with this lane when there's a huge creep wave against you, and I really think you should just pull and do the typical laning shit, you know? It's always like this. It's always just like trading nonstop, even though it's unfavorable.
Yeah, this is all
like this.
Low level.
Stop hitting him. I don't even care that he dies. I don't know. This shit just seems so inconsistent.
That's the thing. It's not necessarily like bad, but it's just inconsistent. So it could be good or it could be awful. And
it's bad if you're playing against better players. I guarantee you.
That as well.
You should not be jungling this. You should be pulling it.
Yes. You've been playing the entire lane up in this middle portion, and it's causing you to have a terrible experience.
This is so hard for you. This is so goddamn hard.
You're going in for a kill.
God, this is wild. This is so wild, man.
Oh my God, just the breaking ankles, wasting so much time, missing a full wave of CS under tower, sending out more tangos at 6 minutes into the game when you desperately need a salve.
Dude, this seems like so needlessly stressful.
It is 100%.
Here's how you play this lane. Send out more regen, hit the goddamn creeps. When the creeps are pushed out, pull the lane back and just keep hitting creeps. Just stop hitting heroes. Unless they do something stupid or you have a huge creep advantage and treat as some like sick wraparound or something.
Yep.
All right, this is fine. I think this is fine.
Yeah.
Going to the triangle, giving your tree the safe lane at 8 minutes. I love this, actually. This is extremely good. This is about the time that I see pros leave their lane. It's like 7 minutes in. Obviously, it depends on the game. I'm obviously not saying every 7 minutes in a game you leave the lane. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like this is around the average time that people are leaving the lane.
Again, it kind of comes back to that whole like reactive versus active play style. Like you always want to be the active player in a game of Dota 2. You don't want to be reactive ever, if possible. And so,
which is why I like the gank. I think that's pretty cool.
Right. If you know you're gonna gank, make sure a courier's already on its way to refill you after the gank, expecting to take damage.
You aren't really tanking with your illusions as you should be. You're taking way too much damage.
I mean, that's definitely part of it, but you should also be sending regen because you're gonna take.
If you need regen, you may as well just send a little bit of regen. But if you just A-click one of your illusions, it'll put all the creeps. If you use your main hero and then A-click one of your illusions, it'll make all the creeps hit your illusions.
Right.
So, very, very easy. Do what you did in that game every game. You left the lane at a good time. You gave it to your tree. You jungled their jungle, which is really high skill. If you can get away with that, then that takes farm away from them. It's super good. You ganked mid. I thought that was really cool. You needed more regen. You needed to play around the illusions better with tanking. But like all in all, that was an impressive replay. Legitimately. For your rank, that was an impressive replay. That's what really good carry players do. It's like farm the enemy jungle, like gank on their way to doing something. It's very efficient. So that's the reason you won. And I'm assuming when you lose, you're just not doing that shit.